Hello everyone, welcome to Office Adda 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of Advanced Business and Financial Management. Okay, so today's class is all about starting this particular project. We'll be starting with our concept and MCQ based blended class. That means we are covering up with the syllabus in such a way that we'll be talking about everything on YouTube as well. Along with that, I hope you have already seen that our CIB batches have also started. That means if you are looking forward towards your preparation, then everything that you need for this particular preparation of examination, we are providing everything, be it on our YouTube platform or be it on our paid platform. So if you're planning to look forward towards a CIB preparation now, then kindly hurry up, because it's very important that you start preparing before time, and by the time comes, you can relax and actually revise at that point of time, rather than being in a hurry that, oh, I don't know what should I do about my examination, what should I do about the preparation that I'm doing. So that particular stress definitely eats you up when you are preparing, right? So it's way better that when we are preparing for this examination, we prepare in such a manner that we are able to overcome the situation of having vast syllabus, which is definitely way challenging, isn't it? So let's talk about the particular topic of ABFM today. The first topic that we are starting with is the basics of management, right? So if I talk about the basics of management here, how are we going to talk about it? Let's talk about that in detail. Just a moment. Okay, so now let's continue. The first point that here comes is, what is exactly management? See, the term management starts from a Greek word. The Greek word means okay, so let's talk about the particular term management. Management has been taken from the Greek word nomos. There are certain things that are said regarding the origin of the term management. So the first term is management has been taken from the word nomos. Nomos was basically linked with a Greek word oikonomos. See, the point is management doesn't really start from the businesses that we know today. Management started from the word that was basically household. There was a time when women used to manage. Did you see this? You must have noticed it in your household as well. When we see our kitchens there, which when we see the way women keep the house, there is a certain way and there is a certain place for everything, right? So that means that is management. It started from the household and then it grew in the area of the businesses as well. That's why we can say the term management came from that area. So let me just give you a brief. The particular term was called oikonomos. Acha, now the next part. The term management could be defined in variety of ways. We could say it in different ways. It could be referring to the person running the organization collectively. Management is basically said, if I talk about the management in the core blunt form now, management is management of people, management of operations, and management of work. There are three things that we manage in management. That is, first of all, you have to handle people. Who will do the work for you? You can't do the entire work. You need someone to do the work under you, right? So that particular person has to do the work that you provide them, and you'll delegate them. Okay, sir, ma'am, this is the work you'll have to finish by this much amount of time. Because again, even I am short of time. I am someone who is in the management. I have to look forward towards strategies and so many more things. So please, I cannot work that much. So the first point that comes is the first part here. अब ये आया people. The first point was people, and then after people we'll talk about work. Again, We are managing people because I cannot manage work on my own. If you ask me that do everything on your own, that means you start your basic working, cleaning the organization to the top level, that is taking care of the board meetings. Is it possible for one particular person? Absolutely not. That means he'll keep people under him. But why does he need him? Because there is a lot of work in the organization. The higher the organization grows and the pace of the organization, if it's good, then it's obviously way more challenging for the organization itself. So the first point is we have to manage people because we have to manage work, and then at the same time we have to manage operations. Now what do you mean by operations, everyone? Not the, see, work is the core thing. If I talk about let's talk about it. If I talk about our 24/7, their basic core work is to provide the guidance, to provide the courses, specified courses, competitive examination, whatever the particular products that the organization is providing in the form of the various services as well, right? That is, that's our work. We have support team for that, and there are so many other teams which are associated. They are working so that the core work can be done properly. That means the work is being done. There are certain things which support the main work, which they call it as operations. So in this case, the first part, oikonomos, is the Greek term where we are managing the household and now we are managing the businesses. We are doing it in certain bits. Number one, we are managing people. Number two, we are managing work, and at the same time we are also managing operations. Operations means the way the organization should work, right? The activity or the job of being in charge of the company, organization, department, team of employees, that is all a part of it. In the same case, there's a certain definition which says management. You can see manage, you can see men, and you can see that is tactfully. You can't get done how, see, the point is that how can I expect that if I ask the other person that, array, do my work, and he'll do it without any trouble. He'll ask me for a certain amount of money that, ma'am, I need money. And he might be like, ma'am, I need professional exposure. If I'm not getting a project which is way too new, then what's the purpose of working with you? Again, a good point. So that is what we talk about. So in this case, the correct point I can talk about is management is an art. It's an art of getting the work done through others. These are all different definitions of management that you will find in different books as well. Management can be said that nobody wants to work. You manage them to work. You can do it by giving them money, by giving them what they want. If they are looking forward towards professional growth, be it. If they're looking forward towards experiences, be it. If they're looking forward towards promotion, be it. And monetary terms is obviously the basic thing. Necessity of life is money, right? So the first point is looking forward towards money and then looking forward to other things. Now comes the next point. See, the management is not something that it just starts with management and boom, it's done. No, it doesn't happen that way. When we talk about the term management now, see, the management looks like this. This is basically the process of management, also known as functions of management. See, the point is, if I have to, I had to take a class. Now let's talk about this class itself. First of all, I planned. What is the content that I'm going to take, right? Then what will I do? What is the particular execution that I want to keep? I said that, array, I don't want to keep only the content. I would like to keep MCQ plus content. Then what would be the sequence of putting this particular thing? So I'll just follow the IIBF book itself. That is one of my decisions. And here, can you see, I haven't even started with execution at all. I'm not executing yet. I haven't started the execution. I am just thinking. So planning is nothing but thinking. Then we organize. Organize means I said, okay, get the IIBF book for me. I need it. Then, okay, I need to formulate some MCQs. Okay, I need some content. So these are the things that I need already. And then what will I do? Maybe I'll ask some staff that they can prepare the PPT for me. And then once they start preparing, now I've given them the content there. The moment I give them the content, I will be like, see, I want my content to be presented in certain manner. No more, no less. This is the way I want you to express it. This is how it should be given. The Adda logo should be there. The particular logo should be prescribed at the back. And at the same time, whatever we are dealing with in our class has to be written in a highlighted manner. So these are instructions that I'm giving. Hai na? And at the same time, if the person feels that, ma'am, I cannot do it, I don't feel I'm doing it right, I'll motivate that particular person. I'm giving him instructions, I'm motivating him. Plus, I'll keep a tap on whatever he's dealing with. Whatever he's doing, I'll motivate him that don't worry, even if you're going wrong, let's work out together and let me know where you are going wrong. I'll help you out, isn't it? So there are multiple things that I'll cater and then I will try to control. The point is, maybe the way the particular person is working is not working out. The particular way he opted is wrong for me. And maybe he's taking too much time, he shouldn't take that much time. So what will I do? I'll say, Arey, don't work like this, you have to work in a better manner. So this means that when we are looking forward to the entire scenario, I'll start with planning. Then I'll organize the things. Then I'll keep the staff for that. And then I'll direct them. See, this is how you need to work. Maybe I'll supervise them. Maybe I will motivate them. Maybe I will be the leader for them. And maybe I'll communicate that, see, this is how I want you to do things. And then I'll try to control. What would I try to control? Maybe that particular person will go a little over the board. Maybe that particular person is not preparing the things the way I wanted them. So in this case, it starts with planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and then we have controlling. So these are the five things that comes up in terms of functions, right? So that is POSTCO. These are the things. Basically, there's one more pointer. When I talk about planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, there's one thing that binds everything. That's called coordination. Once we were planning, we asked people to wait. Please wait. We are looking forward to what we want to create. Then we asked them, sir, come on, let's sit down and talk about the resources that we need. Now let's ask people to join in, right? We are asking the staff to report at a certain point of time. That is also coordination. They are fine that, Arey, ma'am, you have asked us to come, so we are here. They are cooperating as well as coordinating. Cooperation is basically I said something to you and you agreed on that. It's cooperation. And maybe there is a midway. You said this, I said that, and we coordinated. And then we have directing. We will tell the people what to do and how to do, and ultimately we will control their actions in case it is going against the plan. Or maybe I would say it is deviating from the plan. Ultimately, the plan should not be hampered at all. If the plan is hampered, it is way too dangerous for the organization. But why is it dangerous? The point is, if the things do not work as per plan, then it is a problem because the organization will face losses. Maybe it will face loss of goodwill. Maybe it will face I would say defamation from the competitors as well as the customers just because it is not providing what it promised. Those so many things are there. So that is what they call it, the functions of management. Okay, so now since I've given you a brief regarding the various functions of management, so let's talk about them in detail. Chaliye. Now let's move on and talk about the functions of management in detail. The first one is called planning. If I talk about planning there, planning is basically a futuristic vision of whatever is going to happen, right? So if I talk about the planning there, how do we define the term planning? Planning is a futuristic way of looking into things. That means when I'm working with people, I will decide what is to be done. When I'm trying to work on my own business, I'll see what is to be done in future. We have planning is basically based upon WH family. W and H. What, when, why, and how, and by whom. What's the work that we are dealing with? When are we starting? Why are we doing it? And then by whom it would be done? Who will do it? And then how? How are we going to do it? These are the various questions which plan answers. Planning is also said to bridge the gap between where we are. Currently, we are standing at the situation where I said, let's start preparing. Now, once you go through the process, you will reach where we want to be. Right? Everybody looks forward towards growth. Nobody wants to stay at the place where they started from. So technically, planning talks about that only. Planning means where we are and where we want to be. We'll start from the basics there. This is the place where I want to start with, and then there's something where I would like to reach. So where I would like to reach somewhere, that is what is where we want to be. Planning involves taking a call on future and deciding about it. So we'll be deciding about what is going to happen in future. How are we going to do the things that we are looking forward to? You know? So there are so many things that we'll be looking forward to when we are talking about the work. Right? Chaliye. Now let's move on and talk about the next point. This involves the setting of the goals. Ultimately, we'll have to look forward towards that area only, na? Chaliye. Now let's talk about it in detail. In terms of planning, we will decide the goal of the organization. In terms of planning, we'll try to pursue towards our goal. We'll run towards it. We'll set a particular goal. We'll run towards our objectives. We'll decide our future course of action. Everything will be determined. Hai. That is what we talk about. See, we talk about this involves setting of the goals, determining the objectives. We'll first of all define what you want in your life. And then you will have a future course of action for the same. How will you try to get that particular course? How do you plan to get it? And the objectives of the organization would be sorted based upon that. Next is organizing. When you plan something, see the organizing involves D, that is division of work. I cannot do everything on my own. I need people. Hai. So there is a division of work. There is departmentalization. We form different departments, and then we delegate work, right? Because everybody will get a certain amount of powers, certain amount of authority to do the work, and at the same time we also develop the reporting relationships. Everyone, what do you mean by reporting relationship? The relationship where we are supposed to specify who is going to report to whom. We're going to talk about the answerability of one person towards the another. So first is division of work. We'll divide the work. You will do a little part, I will do a little part. We'll talk about it in detail and we'll be sorted about it. Then we will allocate the responsibility. Who will do what? Right? That means here we are not starting with the working at all. Na? We are just looking forward towards the area of allocation of responsibility. Okay. Then when we talk about the further detail there, है ना? The further detail can be when we talk about this. you decided the responsibility of a person, but he has to be answerable even now. With great power comes great responsibility. Whenever there's a superhero with good amount of powers and he's not answerable, he ultimately turns into a villain. That is the same thing that happened with Hitler as well. Someone who was given immense power and ultimately it led to nothing, isn't it? Now, there's a task coordination as well. You're putting so many people to work. You really think they can work together? Till the time you don't tell them what is their scope of work. So organizing becomes a little more and more complex function. It becomes difficult. And yes, it is more and more important as well with the business growth. So when we talk about this entire area, organizing is what? We are going to arrange all the resources that are necessary for the work. And at the same time in the organizing, there's one more point, everyone. We determine the organization structure. How the organization is going to look in future, we will determine that part. The moment we decide the organization structure, that means I'll say that this is a seat, this is another seat, this is another seat. Now there would be two particular person under him. None of the places have been filled yet. These are all vacant right now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and under this person maybe there are 5 people involved. See, the organization structure is determined. Nobody is kept into these specific areas yet. That is the point that I'm talking about in terms of organization structure. We are just limited towards the area of only and only the structure of the organization, how it is going to look in future. Then the next point is staffing. See, the moment I created these places, 1, 2, 3, the vacancies are created now. The moment I created these vacancies, the next point would be what? The moment I created these vacancies, I'll try to look forward to finding solutions for the same, right? So that is something that I can say relates to the particular area. Okay, so I hope I am visible clearly right now. So when we talk about this area, organization structure, it can be stated in that way. This place has to be filled by someone. That someone is our staff, right? That particular person who will fill up that space is our staff. So in this case, I would say staffing is the process of filling this place that is vacant because of organization structure. So first of all, we determine the structure and then we would like to put people to work. In terms of the staffing process, we will say staffing is all about R. That is right person, right job, right time. Whatever I'm doing, everyone, I have to be in that particular position at the right time. See, the point is I belong to the area of finance and you put me into sales and you put me into production. What will I do? Probably I'll be standing there and I'll be like, what's happening exactly? I need a little time to process there, right? I have to go through the trainings and all. It isn't something that I cannot learn, for sure. But then the point is that is not my forte and maybe not even my line of interest. So you have to put me into something that relates to the finance, where I will be looking forward to, oh, this is cool. This is something related to the techniques of accounting. Yes. This is something that I can look forward towards learning accountancy. Yes. So I'll be looking forward to all those things and I'll be more happy in the area of finance rather than someone who's put into the area of any other field, isn't it? So that means you have to put me at that particular position, but at the right time too. See, the point is at this point of time, I would say that I have got a good amount of knowledge in the field of finance. The day I stop learning about finance and then you ask me that, ma'am, you now go to the area of finance. I'll be like, I've lost my interest in the area of finance. You should have put me at that particular time. Not only my time, everyone. At this point of time, maybe it's the peak time the organization is looking forward towards people. And unfortunately, they're not able to find someone. Then what will happen? There's no right time there. When there's no right time for the particular person to work, then obviously there's more disappointment. So that means you have to look forward towards the right person for the right job, and he's supposed to do the work at the right time even. So this means the successful organization needs to have suitable human capital. They need to have a suitable human capital for achieving its objectives, functions that have been made easy by staffing. Now comes the next pointer. The next point talks about is directing. Directing is all about, see, the point is I have kept people, but they don't know anything yet. How will they know? I have a person there who works for me. Let's say Mr. Ram. He's an employee for the organization from quite a long time now. Now he's an expert in his own field. And at the same time, he can direct other people. He can tell them what to do and what not to do. But that simply means I have to train other people as well, na? I will have to communicate with them. I'll have to tell them whatever new person is coming in the organization, whoever is coming in the organization as a new person, I'll have to tell them, sir, this is what your task is, this is how you need to do it. And then I'll have to train them, I'll have to communicate them. At times I have to motivate them as well. Hardcore reality, when you are working now, there are times where you feel terribly demotivated, that where am I? What's my worth? Is the organization paying me well? Is this particular life worth it? People go through this, right? So whenever your workload becomes immensely high, the people feel too low in their work. They're like, I cannot take it anymore. So there's a problem in terms of communication. There's a problem in terms of motivation. And remember, why would we make notes when we were kids? I used to make notes just because my teacher was always checking up. I think I made notes just because my teachers were a little strict and they wanted me to make notes. That I was clearly told that, Niharika, ma'am, please, oh, they would be like, Niharika, prepare the notes. And I used to be like, oh, why do we prepare the notes? Just because my teacher was checking. Since the time they stopped checking, we stopped preparing notes. Reality. In the same case, people work, okay, one of the things there, you present the best of yourself. The basic reason behind that is when you are, when you have to show up to others. Why don't we get dressed in our own house and roam around in our house being fully dressed? Those clothes are again something that we would wear throughout the day. But I will wear those best of my clothes when I'm going to the office. Why don't I wear those same good clothes to the in my house only? Why don't I wear those clothes? That's because I think people feel like we are not going to show up to anybody. That means when people are looking at us, we look presentable. So technically right now, since you are looking at the class, I am presentable. I'm wearing that t-shirt only. I'm groomed right now because in this case, I'm being supervised. In here, I'm being viewed for sure. But then when we talk about supervision is that someone is looking at your work. Then that is supervision. And one thing, everyone, hardcore reality of the life is that if there is no leader to you, then how will you look forward to your working? What does a leader do, everyone? What is it that a leader does for us? The leader is the guiding light. They are the spirit that will look, when we look up to him or when we look up to them, we get what we really want, the motivation level. Think about it, that someday the particular country is at war, right? For let's talk about Ukraine and Russia only. People are not working for the sake of it that I'll get money when I'm participating in the war. It's not easy to look forward towards war. They're looking forward towards war because their leaders of the organization, or I would say the leader of the countries, are motivating them even that this is your country and people are trying to damage it and this is your responsibility to protect it. You know? That means in terms of leader, they become the motivating factor. In our country, I would say Mr. Modi has definitely come up with that particular growth factor for the country. We look at our leader. See, the leader of the country is looking forward towards economic growth, right? So that economic growth that they are putting up for us, that is something that has made us what we are, right? Right, done. So when we talk about this particular area now, Leader becomes the spirit that leads to the growth if they are going right. For example, Steve Jobs was the leader of Apple. It was started by Steve and Steve only, but Steve Jobs is the person that we know more. The moment there was a time when he was leading the organization, they added more and more investors, and ultimately, what the investors did was that there came a situation where he was thrown out of his own organization. But when they couldn't handle the organization without him, they called him back. That means he was a strong leader. Not only is he someone who was a good manager, but he was a strong leader even. Leader becomes the person who keeps the organization intact. In our houses, I would say that it is weird, but if we talk about the patriarchal society, even women are the one that becomes the binding force of the organization, of that particular household even. So we can say a woman leads the household while the males lead the particular area of income generation as well. At this point of time, both of them have come together. So leaders in this case for the kid would be their parents, for the organization would be the board of directors and the CEO or the MD. These people are the ones which shape the future of the organization. If they are being lethargic, what will happen? The organization will die because they are not changing themselves, while the other people would like to change themselves. You know? So successful organization needs to have a suitable human capital. We want that people are to be taken care of, and they, in terms of directing, na, we use four elements: S, M, L, and C. Supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. Till the time you don't supervise people, you don't understand what are their problems or what good is happening with them. In terms of motivation, motivation can be stated as motivation is basically a situation where a particular person feels that feeling inside that I want to do something. That is motivation, that inner feeling. But sometimes it's not coming on our own. What will happen? Example, I have a nephew. He's hardly 18. He's very young. If I ask him that, see, please get me a glass of water, maybe he'll say, ki, nah, I'm tired. Can I give it to you a little later? And then I'll say, if you get me the glass of water, I'll give you a chocolate. The moment I talk about chocolate, the kid will run and give me the particular thing. This is not something that you will find only in children. The same thing happens among people as well. If I ask someone that this is an extra work that you have to do, the first thing that will come in his mind is that, is there any growth in it? Am I learning something out of it? Am I gaining money out of it? Then I'll do it. So then in this case, I'll have to motivate him the way he gets motivated. If money motivates that person, I'll say, I'll increase your salary. If money doesn't motivate him, the other portion motivates him, and that is his experience. I'll say this particular project is absolutely new. Nobody else has now got a hand over it. So I think you can look forward to it. That is motivation, right? It can be anything. And then leaders become the guiding light, right? For example, if I talk about Jawaharlal Nehru, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru leaded the country when the India was just coming out of the, I would say, the entire independence era, when we were totally under the British rule, and then we came out of that situation. So leaders became the people who led to a situation where India is now way independent. Hai. Then we have communication. If I do not communicate to you that I'll give you a chocolate if you get me the particular thing, how will that kid get the thing? That means if I have to direct them, I have to tell them this is what you need to do, or I'll say, no, if you're not doing it, I won't give you this. That is motivation. Even if I have to lead them, I'll have to look forward to that, right? So in terms of the entire working, can I say the directing can be stated in terms of these four elements: supervision, motivation, leadership, and communication. है ना? Acha. Now the next point, everyone. We are done with staffing, we are done with directing, and now we are looking forward towards, okay, in terms of directing, can you see now? This is basically directing covers the functions of guiding and supervising, right? We are looking forward towards guiding people. We are also looking forward towards the supervision. It is not enough to recruit. In terms of staffing, you have got people, but recruiting them is not enough now. You will have to direct them if you want the goals to be achieved. For example, our parents kept us into that particular area of focusing on ourselves. That is why we could reach wherever we are today. Then the last part is controlling. What if we are not able to keep our plan going in the same way? An effective controlling function will always be preceded by proper planning. First of all, you will have to keep a proper plan, and then you will say, "Arey, why are you not following the plan?" That is controlling. And when we have controlling process, we will learn something out of it, that this is how we need to work, and this is the place where we are not able to give the best. So first point is, once we look forward towards the learnings that we have made that the previous plan failed, on this basis we will plan our future further, isn't it? It is very important that activities undertaken by management remain on the right track. We're looking forward towards plans, targets, objectives of the organization. Right? So in this case, aren't we going to look forward towards the area of sticking to the plan? Controlling is all about that we do not deviate from the plan. But in order to, I would say, to reduce this scenario, what we have to make sure? We have to make sure we are not deviating from the plan. If we are deviating, we will correct it. The corrective action will be taken, and whatever learnings we are making from this area, we will make sure that it is not repeated, and we'll make an entirely new plan so that we achieve our targets. Because when one plan gets over, the next plan is ready. That is the entire scenario of controlling. Right? So in terms of controlling, the next point that comes is, what is the importance? We talked about functions of management. We talked about every single basic there. Then the next point that comes is importance of management. In terms of management, the first thing that comes is effective change management tool. Management is something that brings changes. You know, people are always restrictive towards changes. Nobody likes changes. People will be like, "Arey, why do we have to go through changes now? I don't like changes." People will be always restricted. We'll have to just make sure that they become interested in it. It helps achieve group goals. The point is, people are not able to achieve goals sometimes because they start playing individually in the organization. Individual game doesn't help the organization to grow at all. That's one of the realities. First is, we have to help the organization to achieve the goals there. If the organization achieves the goals, automatically we'll be paid well. Hai? Then we have optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization means whatever resources we have, we will have to look forward towards the area of utilizing the resources properly. The point is, the organization should note down what resources they possess, and based upon that, they should always look forward towards achieving the goals as well. Right? So we have to look forward towards optimum utilization of resources. The resources should be used properly. If they are not being used properly, whatever you have, you'll waste it. Then improved functioning of the business. We're looking forward towards better functioning of the business. What does it mean now, everyone? See, the point is that in the organization, the functioning has to become more and more better. If we have resources, if we know what to do, we will have to make sure the working is done in a proper manner too. Na? So the functioning has to be sorted there. Then development of various resources. If I talk about the various resources there, what will happen in this case, everyone? When we talk about the various resources, I can say that if I talk about the resources there, how do we work in terms of the resources? The resources are required for the organization for their growth. If they do not have proper resources, how will they achieve their goals? Isn't it? To achieve the goals, they will have to make sure that they are running towards their goals. And if they are trying to run towards their goals, they have to be clear about them. So first of all, once we are clear about our goals, then the next point that comes is that development of the various resources is there. Right? And the next point that comes here is that contributes towards better organization. We are looking forward towards better organization. Obviously, management is managing the things in a proper manner. If we manage things properly, ultimately the goals will be achieved without any hassle. No doubt, hustle will be there. I think it cannot be eradicated altogether, but yes, we can at least save our efforts a lot. Then what's next? The next is proper direction to the organization. Proper direction means we're looking forward towards a proper way of working. When the organization is under any kind of if they're under any kind of confusions or anything of that sort, management will help them to achieve their goals. So the management is there, or planning is there, controlling is there. All these things make sure that we are not deviating from our plans. So what is the importance of management? I think what we'll do is whatever portion of management is left there in terms of importance along with MCQs, I think we'll be discussing about it tomorrow, right, in the next class as such. As per the YT plan, I hope you would have seen it. We have come up with this particular area of different classes on different days. That means on every single day you will be having our batches, and then our classes. Every subject is being covered in this area. That means all the subjects are covered in a balanced manner for you. And at the same time, if you are planning to look forward towards your preparation in the best possible way, then you can look forward towards our courses, the paid courses as well. So you have both the options. You can look forward towards our YT sessions where we are covering all the subjects there. Plus, at the same time, we have also started with our CAIIB Sankalp batch as well for November. So you can look at it as well. I think whatever we are dealing with right now, I'll look forward to it further in the next class. So let's look at it right now. Okay, this is our website, that is www.adda247.com. There you have to go a little down there. Go into the area of JIB and CIB. You can download the app as well. Through app it would be little better, because in the app itself you will be able to choose the preference. You can choose your paper and find only information about that paper itself. So this is where you can go to. You can choose your preference, that is JIB, CIB in your case, right? So you can look forward towards CIB in November. These are the batches. First of all, Sankalp batches are here. Sankalp batch 3 has also been launched. That means it is starting from July 17 itself. So both the Sankalp batches, CIB, have been there on the roll, and you can also look forward towards CIB Mahapack 2.0. Under Mahapack 2.0 you will get everything, both the batches, that means bilingual as well as English medium. Plus, along with this, you will get one more thing. The first thing that you will get here is in these batches, you will get mock test series, you will get practice papers, you will get doubt classes, you will get 5+ hours of Maha marathons and 10+ hours of mini marathons. Along with all of these things, you will also be getting the earlier things that we were providing. That means revision batches, MCQ batches, whatever batches we come up, even any specific more batch comes after your batch, everything is opened up for you. E-books, unlimited times you can look forward towards the videos, you can look forward to recorded sessions, any specific batch that you would like to follow, you can take up the test series as well. Everything is covered in this CIB Mahapack 2.0. So if you're looking forward to it, you can click on the area of CIB Mahapack, click on the area of buy now and use the code July 77. As soon as you'll apply July 77, you will get it for 8472.51. So this is the perfect price that you can look forward to. It will cost you 8472.51 and the validity is for 6 months. So I think it would be covering a good part of your syllabus time as well. So if you're looking forward to it, then kindly go ahead and buy it as early as possible and start with your preparation, as another batch is coming on 17th. So within a week we'll be coming up with another batch. So kindly go ahead and buy it in time, so that whenever you look forward towards your preparation, it becomes a better preparation method. Okay, how can I look forward towards that? Just look at the particular features. Number one, 500 hours of live classes are there, 90 test series, 935 videos and 201 ebooks. In your CIB Mahapack, the plus point is you get all the electives as well. Electives are available. That means look at any of the electives and choose which elective suits you better. And then you don't have to be confused, ma'am, which particular elective is better and which is not. You can look at the classes and decide which one is easier for you. Rural banking, HRM, IT IT and Digi Banking, Risk Management, and Central Banking. All of these are covered there. So if you are looking forward to it, then kindly do not delay. Just look forward to all these batches and choose that particular thing, and then you'll be good to go. So please start preparing as early as possible, and if you're looking forward to our classes, use the code July77 and buy it as early as possible. So thank you so much everyone. I'll be meeting you in the next class. So till then, thank you so much for being there, and if you like this particular session, then please go ahead and share it, and don't forget to like it as well. I'll be meeting you on every Tuesday from now on and covering the syllabus accordingly. And at the same time, if you're looking forward to our paid batches, then it is going to start from 17th of July. So that will really help you if you're starting from the scratch only. So I think you have the perfect time. This batch would be starting soon, so you have time to decide what you want to do in terms of the CAIIB preparation and then pursue it accordingly. Thank you so much everyone. Bye bye.